The Sandpiper, 1965. The film opens with this panoramic view of the mountains and the greenery surrounding it. Almost idyllic, one might say. And we're going to come across a painter played by Elizabeth Taylor. Vincent Minnelli directs. He's got the explosive combination of Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, and thrown in for good measure Robert Webber, Eve Mary Saint and Charles Bronson. The setting is idyllic. They've got a sort of space on the beach for a sort of tree house, so to speak. There's a small waterfall nearby. She's got her painting set up, and her son is enjoying the freedom. Everything couldn't be more from being perfect, as displayed by the sunshine smile of Taylor. Her bohemian feel to her character. This paradise is then disturbed by this young child who sees the young deer as a target, and we see the ruthlessness of the human being as he puts a bullet through the deer's hind. Looking at scenes, we then find the boy with his mother in the headmaster's office trying to explain his actions in killing the deer, and he quotes this famous phrase that humans are the only people who kill for fun. Let's hold that moment for a minute. A chat, interview, call it what you will, between the head and Taylor brings out her attitudes with regard to learning about being law-abiding, and she adopts this feminist view of, follow the ones that you believe in, but the ones that you don't, you ignore. And that was the message that she was communicating to her son. One critic describing this emotional trouble that the young son is in, he gets involved in a suspenseful sequence of hunting a wild animal in a beautifully photographed lush primeval forest, like the boat hunt in Home from the Hill. In both films, the hunt is a critique and an exploration of traditional male macho codes, something somewhat alien to the boy but sanctioned by society. Both sequences stand for all the problems non-macho males have in fitting in to traditional macho male codes endorsed by society. One also recalls the red-coated fox hunters who opened the finale of Lovely to Look At. So you get a feel of what we're looking at. He's in a strict school, for sure, with traditional values, but his mother is giving her two penneth, which challenges some of the rules and values that the religious school adheres to. Noting that this is the third time that he's received Danny because of behaviour, he concludes by informing his mother that he's up for a transfer to a religious school which may well suit him better. The religious school is run by Dr. Reverend Hewitt, aka Richard Burton. The first scene where Burton and Taylor meet encapsulates really the the atmosphere, the persona of the two. It's a fairly easy dialogue, really, but it's the body language, the communication in that way, which sort of lays down the foundations, and you know you're in for a bit of a ride here with these two, and that's what appeals so much to these type of films involving the pair. The opening stanza between Taylor and Burton is tremendous in the preacher's office, as his lengthy lists of do's and don'ts and society's perceptions of certain behaviour are discarded by her one after the other, as she intends to create an environment where the boy is free of prejudice, free of judgment, and it's fascinating. The story has a sort of curios about it. The preacher is trying to develop a picture in his mind of how this woman became pregnant, who's the father figure, why are they not together, trying to get a picture of how her views on life have evolved as very feminist, anti-establishment. Thank you. When the Reverend arrives at Taylor's residence, she appears half naked, posing for a sculptor who's sculpturing her as part of what she wants in terms of her self-importance. It may or may not be that they are having a sexual relationship, but what develops is a conversation, a short conversation between the Reverend and Charles Bronson, who plays the sculptures, and it's very poignant to this unexpected, really, position that the woman Taylor takes on these things. Intriguing little film. I see the movie very much as a learning experience about politics, about positions in society, about the norms, the traditions, and those that step outside of that and rebel. It's more than just a cute little pick about feminism. A large slice of the midsection of this movie, we see the Reverend's attempts to sort of become more closer to Taylor's character, using the fact that he's the head of the school and needing to contact her for this, that and the other. But the underlying feel is that he's dying to have an intimate physical relationship with her. He also comes to meet one of her whole flames, who throws a few spanners in the works, and it's an intriguing little sideshow, really. The film deals with the inevitable art of carnal knowledge in a sensitive way, with Ed, preacher, full of guilt about having committed adultery, whereupon Taylor's character is, of course, seeing it as a free will exchange of fondness and passion, and she shows her frustration in the scene where she blutters, "Am I your love or am I your whore?" And of course it actually brings out what I'm assured happens a million times when betrayal takes place between a man and his wife, or in fact a woman and her husband. Ernie shares with his wife his adulterous affair. He sees this as sort of disposing of the baggage that he has regarding the secrecy, and he assumes that this is going to be, this level of honesty is going to lead him to the promised land. However, when he shares it with Laura, Taylor's character, she is hostile. She believes that their relationship should remain privileged, and she reacts in opposite to what he expects. And this presents the dichotomy. The movie concludes with the predictable separations and the damage having been completed with regard to the affair. But overall, interesting movie.